Good morning, America. This is your friend, Dr. Turi. Today we are July the 14th. Hey, La Libération in France. Okay, so that's an important day for us, the 14th of July, 1786. Can't remember. I know more about the American history than the French history. I forgot. Anyway, it's the La Bastille, as we say in French. That's where I believe the king and the queen had their neck cut off because the French had enough of being abused by the power. Hey, that is part of our history, so it's an important day for us. So today's a very special newsletter that I wrote, mostly because it's Sunday and a lot of people will take the time to read today, not only watch this YouTube video. The title of the newsletter, always associated with every one of my YouTube video today, is Why Storming Area 51 to see aliens is not exactly a good idea. Okay, so in this newsletter, I approach a lot of topics. So yeah, as I always said many times before, it's important for you to, once you have listened to me, to go and rest and read the rest of the story, because there is so much information. The current window is all about death and drama and secret. However, we are what you call void of course. Void of course means like the moon is in between two specific signs, but the dragon is also void of course, and so is that very special SOS to the world shocking window. So we are merging into the next window, which is set for the 17. So, but it is the 17 in different parts of the world, and that's why I give a long lapse of time. So the people in various parts of the world are under the same shocking window that usually produce earthquakes above 6.0. And you know, I proved again my UFO predictive legacy is undeniable. Today we are the 14th, memorable day for France, but we had the 7.3 in Indonesia, and we had the 6.6 in Australia. So again, how can you not, in all honesty, trust my cosmic wisdom and Draco channeling when I'm giving you dates for earthquakes well above 6.0 and prove it to you again? Now, if you expect the expert in Los Angeles or anywhere, the Seismologist Institute of Pasadena, USGS or NASA, to get even close to the timing, which has always proven me right, then you got something coming your way, and that's nothing, because they cannot do it. Remember, by the time that little needle is moving, it's too late. And I gave those 8 weeks, sometimes months, and I can do it forever, because life is a constant process of endless changes. And history repeats itself, because those windows scientifically proposed to you are coming back. So it's all mathematics, and this is why I had to design a software, the same type of software that Nostradamus used in the 16th century, and develop divine astrology. Okay. Remember, the great prophet 500 years ago didn't have a watch or a computer. So I had to think, how am I going to do that? So I had to redesign the astrological software that goes with my course. If you're interested in learning, you can gather the 16 CDs and then the DVDs and the software program that I have, and you can enjoy you know, my cosmic wisdom without spending 1 week in Sedona to learn it all, or anywhere for that matter. So even though I'm planning to teach again in various parts of the world, and I will let you know, if you cannot do it, you can always order a course. It's there for you to learn, because anything and everything that I do, you can do it, because my students were trained to do so. And you cannot be stupid and study cosmic wisdom. You can't. You cannot improve your cosmic awareness by being an atheist, a religious fanatic, or simply an idiot. You got to be smart. This is why the majority of the people that are taking my course are well educated as doctors, psychiatrists, NASA students. Who is who in America in the latest reconstructive cancer surgery? You're talking about really, really sharp people from all walks of life. And some of them have PhDs, doctors, name it. And little did I know when I was a kid that one day I was going to teach who is who in America. But hey, as my stars, you have to understand there is a big, huge difference between education and intelligence. Again, all the scientists and geologists reading my work, because I know they do, okay, are scratching their educated head, wondering how the hell does he do it? This doesn't mean they're going to give me a chance and work with me. So we both, by allying forces, would be able to give you not only the impeccable timing that I have, but also the location. And that is another story. All right, as always, I put the links of previous newsletter for you to go and check the news and how they unfold. And by using the quatrain and the keywords, as I always do, you can appreciate and see the news as I see them and understand the news in a very different way than 99.9 of other people who never watch my YouTube video or know nothing about me. But that's how it is. I personally believe that you are very lucky. You are part of that minority of superhuman that are curious enough to investigate Jesus' cosmic ministry and God cosmic divinity speaking to us through the signs that I prove to you by translating them and giving you very specific data of earthquakes and the colors of all the shocking news. So let's talk about some of those news as I always do. Okay. She moved to Somalia to tell positive story, but ended up dead in a terrorist attack. Again, you know, the window that I was referring earlier, this Plutonic window, the quatrain and the keyword definitely point out and mention terrorist attack. She's gone. God bless her soul. Another negative news, you know, it's a decorated Green Beret, 40 years old. He was killed in Afghanistan and is remembered by his commander. So, you know, again, so many of these young soldiers that are dedicated to allow me to talk, to say things that are mind-boggling, that allow me to have a free speech. Those guys who die for me. My heart goes to their family, to their friends, because they're suffering. Sad enough, you know, those people are traditionally educated, very often also religiously indoctrinated or scientifically oriented, and they do not know that when they are under one of this 2019 negative cosmic biorism, when the SOS to the world ally with those nasty cosmic winds, they are highly prone to suffer an early demise. And that's the reality. So there is no accident for this soldier to be killed and for that lady to die in a terrorist attack. But again, as I told you many times before, I'm way ahead of time. And I'm glad that the numbers are growing on my YouTube channel. So again, if you like it, at the end, you know, say a few words. I will answer you. You know, I don't bite. Okay. If you have any questions, I will answer it for you to the best of my ability. And then just like and share. All right. Now, child suicide bomber killed at least 9 people and wounds more than 1,000 in Afghanistan waiting. Again, that is a terrorist attack. That tells you again, a child is very vulnerable. The younger, the easier it is for any reptilian infected organization to hijack a child that is going to be manipulated, of course, by the reptilians. those people who indoctrinate religiously those kids are totally reptilian infected, and it's all geared with the allure for power, for money, for ego, name it, and it's all political. As you know, my feeling, religion and politics are two very stinking, truly infected, man-made situation here. But, that's how it works. I tend to emphasize always the negativity, okay? Because that's what most of you are going to respond to. However, I can also do the good one. I can also explain the good thing, but you're not going to react to it. So that's why I emphasize the negative. It's like if I tell you you're going to have a brick falling on your head tomorrow and leave you with 5-inch stitches, you're going to remember. And if I tell you if you do something nice, you're going to be rewarded by the draconis, you're not going to pay attention. So that's why I emphasize the negative. Off-duty police officer in critical condition after being shot multiple times. Again, the cops. It's unprecedented how much I have tried and how many years I have tried to reach the cops to tell them when they are vulnerable. Yet, and I'm not allowed in anything and everything that is square, that is outside of the status quo, because most of the people that are educating the police, they do it in a rational, logical way. They are all cosmic unconscious, and all the responsible of all those that are already dead and those that will die, those responsible are actually the responsible, the true responsible for all those premature deaths. Because they are not taking a chance in my work. They are not allowing me to go and speak to them, give them some specific dates, and use the technology that I have through my software for them to know when their negative cosmic biorhythm will be conjuncting or lining up with a negative SOS plutonic deadly window, and those brave cops will not come back home. Okay, and their family and friends will suffer drastically. Their life will change because I am not allowed not only to reach the cops, but also to reach your children. It's devastating what I see, what I perceive, yet I have to keep pushing forward because the world is not ready for me. I'm way ahead and too controversial for people to accept. Sad reality. I'm so controversial that even my close friends are turning back. They're back on me. They say, "Oh, we cannot have him." "Oh, no." He's saying it's too real. Or, they're not smart enough to perceive my mission. I don't know what it is, but it is one of the other. What else do we have? A singer facing $314 million lawsuit over paternity case. I remember this singer. It's a Spanish singer. In fact, I grew up with his music because he's close to my age. He was famous. He was reptilian infected. Maybe he was drunk or using drugs, whatever it is. He got that young woman pregnant. She gave him a son, and it took all those years for finally her being able, using science, using the good effect of the draconis to create good science to help humanity to prove he was the father through DNA research. So again, that's pretty shocking for a lot of people who knows that famous singer. Dog rescued after discovered buried alive on Hawaii beach. Oh my gosh, who would do that? How can you be so damn infected and put an innocent animal under the ground alive? How much reptilian infestation your own must have to do such a thing? Well, when you see what they do to humans, who cares about a dog? You know what I'm saying? But if you're into animals, I wrote all about the purpose of animals, why they are living with us, while some of those dogs experience such a dramatic fate when other dogs, like our little doggy lady, was saved from hell by knocking at our doors 5 years ago in the middle of the night. So you can read, if you're into animals, their karmic purpose and why they live with humans. So my cosmic wisdom does not stop in predicting earthquakes or talking about UFOs. But, as I said, if you're into animals, read and share, okay? Okay, passengers united against allegedly crazy racist woman who delayed flight. Again, if you look at my quatrain, which is already operational, those shocking news also mention aeronautics. Aeronautics means airplane, and infected people traveling with you with those airplanes will reflect the reptilian nightmare. So be aware. You're going to see a lot of shocking you're going to have also shocking surprises. As always mentioned, auto-analyze yourself, because those cosmic, shocking, mind-blowing, unique cosmic winds are going to be touching you. And then it's not an accident to have all these UFO news today on major networking and on CNN for that matter. And I'm going to explain a little bit more as we go along. So aeronautic, here you go. Reptilius infected, there you go. What else do we have? Trump tells progressive congresswoman to go back to home countries. I mean, if you do not realize that our president is reptilius infected, I do not know what he has to do or what type of nasty words must come out of his mouth for you to finally realize that I have something real. Okay, when you click on the link, okay, you're going to lead, this link will lead you to our president UCI, or me explaining his unique celestial identity, his idiosyncrasies, and make you aware that he was born with the tail of the dragon, which is a very negative energy reflecting some of his past life. Into the sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius rules the ninth house. The ninth house deals specifically in the human experience with all affairs involving foreigners, foreign land, and religion. So anytime he opens his mouth or dwell with something that is remotely related to foreigners, foreign land, or religion, he's getting it. And the result is his legacy that will sudden enough be endorsed and is already and be endorsed by the reptilians, and is literally like a cancer infecting the rest of the world. When you elect a president that has such powerful countries to control, so to speak, it dictates that all the other countries in the world will have to suffer the legacy of the most powerful man on the planet. And sudden enough is infected, because that's how it works. The reptilians are not going to put me in power just yet. It's not my time, but I'm coming there. But they're going to put him, President Trump, who has absolutely no idea who the hell he is, why he is behaving the way he behaves. He has his young daughter to try to cancel him, and a bunch of non-cosmic educated idiots around him, trying to not to upset him, but to put some sense in his head, and it still won't work. So, like the German did, they give power to Hitler and see the results. And I don't want you to be afraid, but time and time I have been proven right over the years, since 1991, on radio, on television, constantly, endlessly. So you want to pay attention that Trump's racist legacy is going to be a nightmare for the world for the years to come. And I wish I could add a better news, but you don't want to kill the messengers. I don't care if you support Trump or if you don't. My work is not politically oriented. It's highly spiritual, and I can only warn you. And then now you have a choice to make. Either you support the negative reptilians who can only survive with your fear, negativity, chaos, discord, murder, greed, sexual debauchery, lies, deception, or work with the draconis by being more positive, more hopeful, more dedicated, and doing your part like I do every day to help you to raise to a higher level of cosmic consciousness. Because It's only through education that we will be able to change things. And in order for the devil, the reptilians, to succeed, all the good people, that would be you, have to do is nothing. And that's why it's important to click that you like my work, say a few words to make it more interesting for the newcomers, and most of all, share it, because you need to understand that it's all a psychical battle. Okay, we're going to discuss a little bit more about UFOs later on. So let's keep going here. Well, actually, might as well go in right now. Why storming Area 51 to see alien is not a good idea? Again, I give you a bunch of information on that newsletter, but all I can say is, let's say you manage, it's impossible, but let's say you manage to pass those guards. They don't shoot you to death because you've been warned not to go there. Let's say you get there. All right, and you're going to see this new technology. Well, you're going to see all sorts of things, the best of the human mind put at work, either stimulated by the reptilians to produce more weaponry, which is probably what it is out there, because all the best technology we have had so far is just to support and promote our defense, okay, and to kill. All these airplanes and spying planes and all nukes, all this was created by the scientists, stimulated by the reptilians. Now you do have also good technology, tons of it, like the computer that you're looking at me now, those electronic mics, top quality, cell phones, technology that allows you to fix your heart, fix your eyes, your teeth, God knows what. So these are the draconis positive energy. And then you in between, you have to make a choice. So let's say you get in and you start to see those bodies of aliens that crashed in New Mexico. This scout reptilian ship loaded with the gray was shot down by the draconis. So they pick up the pieces and they brought it, Area 51 or other area to study. So, okay, you're going to see those ETs. Okay, I have seen those ETs since I'm 6 years old. I've been dealing with those guys. To me, I'm past the word believing, and I'm past the idiocy of wanting to go to Area 51 and getting shot, because to me, it's real. It's more than real, because I'm channeling one of these extraterrestrials, and I'm giving you the proof every single time an earthquake is taking place now. Okay, so then you're going to say, okay, now I want the government to tell me the truth. Well, let me tell you what the government is going to tell you. The government is going to tell you exactly the same thing than this idiot scientist that is also currently on CNN. I'm looking for his name. But Bill Nye, the scientist man, you're going to get the same type of response that Bill Nye, because they do not know. The government official do not know who they are, where they come from, and what they want. So keeping it secret is to stop you panicking, so to speak. And then when you ask your president about UFOs, well, he doesn't believe in it. I mean, it is just too religious. He's into his chart, his UCI is into the codification of thought. So anything that he actually believes has to be solid, rational, touch, and seen. There is no option for imagination, creativity, or curiosity for that matter. So be sure, my friend, be sure that your government will not is not conspiring against you, and it's not going to send you to concentration camps either. Not in the United States, maybe in China, in Russia, in North Korea, but not in these great countries. That's why I live here. So you're safe. When the day I say I'm leaving, maybe you want to go. So basically, The fact is, your government are totally clueless, like all the scientists, of what's going on. And then you have, of course, all this unconscious, not cosmic conscious UFOs speaker who have never seen a UFO, okay, who regurgitate whatever they have heard somewhere else or read somewhere else or watched somewhere else, telling you that the government is keeping secret from you. Well, of course, the government has to keep secret, but it's only because it has to do with our security. Okay, and extraterrestrial not having any answers about extraterrestrial, of course they have to keep it secret because they don't know. So it's better now. How would you think Trump now coming on national TV saying, okay guys, okay, we have the proof, extraterrestrials are real, dr.turi was right from the get-go, all right. Let's say, okay, he finally knows and see them, okay. He has all those years he had to deny the reality because he doesn't want to scare you, so to speak. Okay, so in many ways, your government is perceived, or Trump is perceived as the father of a big family. He is the father of all the people that are under his jurisdictions, or we the people. So he doesn't want to scare us. He knows better. He knows not to say things that will challenge your beliefs because you have been indoctrinated by religion. Imagine if he has to say, well, this is real. Now, what are you going to do with all that bullshit you've been taught all your life? All that mess you've been forced to swallow that was created by the reptilians in the first place. What are you going to do? Oh, we're going to say, whoa, what else now? So that's panic. And he cannot, and the government official cannot change the status quo. They do not know. And I know it is real. That's why, even though that, it's impossible for thousands of people to mess up over there in Area 51, it is a total waste of time. I mean, how can you ignore not only me, which I'm one of the most obvious UFO contactee on the planet, not only me, but the millions and millions of people who have seen those UFOs, and some of these high place government official, army official, they have actually witnessed UFO manifesto. Do you think these people lie? Do you think we are all liars? But if you think so, but you got something coming, because UFO and ETs are very real. Okay, and sad enough, a lot of people talk about UFO, as mentioned earlier. They've never seen a UFO and they have no proof to offer you. I am giving you proof that I'm delegating with Draco, the beneficial extraterrestrial, who through his channeling allowed me to develop the software to think in a way that I can understand God, cosmic design, translate the sign, and warn you well before all the educated experts are able to do. So you need to think, I use critical thinking. And this, again, it's important not to think I'm an egocentric here, then only me has the truth. No, it doesn't go that way. That's not my message to you. My message to you is you need to accept the reality that you are under the jurisdiction of a negative group of extraterrestrial which are dedicated to destroy you and the earth. And you think your government is going to let you know that when they don't even know themselves? Only a minority of contactees that have missions like me, there are missions like me, will be able to get the information and pass it on to you. Now, all those UFO speakers' information are very valuable. They're rational, they're scientific, they're entertaining, but none of them is going to tell you that the ETs are going to aim towards young souls and develop a young spirit, young mothers, and go down to their body and started to manipulate the genes and produce gays and lesbians. Oh, no. Or produce Down syndromes, or produce all sorts of disease like autism. They're not going to tell you that because that is against the rule. It's against the status quo. And that's why a lot of UFO conference promoters are kind of a little bit scared about, Dr. Turi exposing such a reality. It's too scary. But that is the purpose of those conferences. Are they gonna lump me with psychic and oh well, he's a psychic, he has nothing to do with UFO. Well, whoa, wait a minute here. You know, so as I said in my newsletter, luckily for me, people in Australia and the UK are very different. They are not part of a very young, religiously poisoned country like the United States. Okay, that's why I've been invited not only in Australia and the places in the world, but also the UK. Yesterday, I got a call from a wonderful lady. She wants me to do a radio show, and then from there, we're gonna go and do some lecture on UFO conference in Europe. So the difference between the traditional, rational, religious, and scientific set of mind found in the United States and outside of this country is just unbelievable. It's unprecedented how far more advanced and curious and spiritual foreign people outside of this country are. And that's why they're inviting me. And then I'm glad, I'm happy. I'm happy because fear, a lack of information, religious poisoning, or taking my information on a personal level when I do reading is not my purpose. My purpose is not to upset anybody, but to educate everybody about the reality of those entities and how to combat them in their own game, because it's all psychical. The UFO slideshow that I have will have so much information for you, because I'm going to go and get you where you are from the scientific part and then introduce you to the hell that I went through, which is at the same time can be a blessing for you, not exactly for me, because I recall the pain, okay, and the fear and the trauma. But it's no accident. There's a reason for me to go through those experiences, okay, and that needs to be heard. And I hope that if you know a radio show, a TV host, or if you are a promoter of UFO conference, just give me a chance. And I guarantee you that you're going to have a very different energy emanating from your event. And a lot of people are going to realize that there is a little bit more than scientific information as far as extraterrestrials are concerned, because that's all you've been fed with for years. My time is coming. So it's important for you to open the doors and let me do what I do best and educate you, raise your cosmic divinity, and stop you turning into future reptilians that are going to be driven by artificial intelligence and becoming dignified robots. Simple as that. Wow. Yeah. And those pictures, the time I took to build this UFO slide presentation is priceless. It's entertaining, it's educational, and at the end, I will bring you to God Cosmic Design, to Jesus Cosmic Ministry, and to what Corporated Vatican doesn't want you to know, and what whomever made history and the richest man on the planet have used in your back. Okay, remember J.P. Morgan wrote, millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. And each time I've watched Trump doing something very, very special, how come he's on his own progressive, positive cosmic biorhythm? Oh, are they taking my information somewhere, somehow, in my back? I don't know. Conspiracy is real. However, my teaching a little bit different than my ex-good friend, David Icke, who tells you that only the Queen of England, famous people like Obama and President Trump or whomever are only infected. Only them. No, no, David. You and me, especially, particularly you, are very much infected, because in your teaching, you don't leave much room for hopes, because you're not cosmic conscious. You don't understand. I know he's watching my video, believe me. All I could tell him is that, David, every one of us is under the jurisdictions of the reptilians. Okay, you call them the reptilian. And if you recall, I warned you in 1995 when you told me, Louis, I'm going to go to the Isle of Wight and I'm going to write about the reptilians. And I told you, David, be careful. The tail of the dragon is in your 12th house, in your subconscious. You probably remember this, but you're never going to mention it in all your public appearances. That I told you that you were going to experience the negative effect of the reptilius because the time being alone in an island when the dragon is in your subconscious, and you are going to see those extraterrestrials, and you're going to be very much convinced that the reptilians are real. And you are right all along, but it does not only affect the rich and the powerful who control our lives. It controls people from all walks of life. That includes you and I. And that is a different type of teaching. And since then, we split. But wow, this is life, you know. All right, so I give you tons and tons of stuff to delegate in that newsletter. And again, I want to emphasize that there is young people here that are interested in going on Mars. In fact, there is a very big advertisement. It's actually 8 minutes and 42 seconds on CNN. It's an incredible, expensive, very powerful, well-designed, extremely deceptive video message. Okay, it is produced by the reptilius-infected scientific matrix to lure more suicidal, non-cosmic conscious, gullible young soul. The title of this news here is Meet Abby, the 22-year-old who wants to be the first astronaut on Mars. Oh my God, Abby, you're 22 years old. What do you know about life? All you've been digging since you're a child, indoctrinated since you're a child, is by science and religion. I'm not allowed to reach you, Abby. I'm not allowed to make you aware that the planets and the stars are much more than dead rock hanging there for the sake of beauty, to be investigated with little robots by NASA scientists in the proposition of you going to Mars. Oh my God, you're so gullible. You're so rational. You're so practical. You have lost, like all those scientists, the essence of what it means to be human and the spiritual values encompassing the cosmos, spiritual purpose. The soul of the cosmos is so dramatically important for you to acknowledge. Yet, Salt's doctors are not allowed in our college university nowadays. And that's why it's easy to manipulate, to captivate, and to indoctrinate you through those infected, corporated scientific matrix who are only in the game to make money. Money, because they do not want to work like anybody else. They are the kids of the kids of the kids, or those guys hired by the government in the 50s to build to build nukes. That's your legacy. I don't know you, but chances are your parents are scientists or were involved in one of these government enterprise to produce nukes. And the result, of course, is a submarine in the ocean right now, killing all marine life, and worse, the Martian island cement concrete dome, which is fractured and then dropping tons and tons of nuclear waste into the ocean. My gosh, don't you think you should learn more about your immediate local solar system spiritual values than to hang around and to let those guys make you believe one day you're going to live on Mars? What the hell? Don't you think listening to little birds, listening to the wind in the trees, watching the beauty of nature and its animal wildlife is more interesting? Do you think you're going to take a swim on Mars? Do you think you're going to be able to breathe on Mars? You're going to be living in a scaphandra. What type of life is that? And they are paying, and they are supported by idiocy from the get-go. It's an absolutely mind-boggling, unbelievable, deceptive maneuver by the scientific matrix. because they all know this earth is doomed, and they're trying to escape, and they're not gonna take you. They're not gonna take you happy. No, they're gonna take your children because they're never gonna go there, but they gotta try. That's why it's worth it to invest in Mother Earth, to invest in, stopping the damage of deforestation, planting trees wherever, and start to become more obvious instead of being focused on a little ball by the sport matrix that captivates your consciousness. Just look at a bigger ball that's called Mother Earth, because that's all we have. It's our only living spaceship. And every single day when I see things like this, it drives me insane, because all this fortune should be used to educate those children on God's cosmic design, because these people, because of the reptilius-infected scientific matrix, they are moving away from God. A godless God, or a world made of atheists and scientists is next. We are going in that direction. And you're going to go and perish in the process, fulfilling the reptilius electronic, technological, mind-controlled agenda. Oh, I wish I could be taken more seriously, but, I'm very passionate about it. We should concentrate on saving our species instead of trusting the reptilius-infected scientific matrix that we're going to go on Mars. Climate change is a priority. Believe me, it's a priority. Oh, well. Okay, so again, I don't want to end it up in a negative note. I'd like to mention again that not only the scientific or religious matrix is growing drastically, but the same applies for another growing matrix, and that's the LGBT group. This is not an attack against gays and lesbian people. Understand that, because many of them are my client, my friends, my student, my patient, and I love and respect them all. Period. But sharing my cosmic work can only educate those who cannot understand these people's sexual attraction, their sexual urge, and stop the animosity against them. Education, that's all there is. Education is the key to understand why people are set by the reptilians well before they come in this world to become gays and lesbian, because the genes have been manipulated in the fetus. Oh, wow. It's just unbelievable. So most of the time, those young mothers, they want to play. They're young, they're vulnerable, and many of them use what they think is safe, like non-prescriptions, behind-the-counter drug, and that's it. Et voila, as we say in French. Those innocent, loving, gullible, vulnerable young mothers are the easiest target for the reptilians. And they hijack their body, their mind, and their soul, and they are prone to be victimized by those entities. The legacy is incredible. Most of all, understand that these people cannot reproduce, and that's perfect as far as the reptilians are concerned. And this doesn't mean they are idiots, because they are extraordinarily smart. They're beautiful people. They are human beings. It's just that they've been victimized by a phenomenon they cannot understand. Science cannot understand. And 99.9% of the people walking planet Earth does not understand or even relate or even accept. So I can only repeat myself. So maybe you understand, and all this is a psychical phenomenal problems that lead to the manipulation of the fetal genes. You have a DNA, you have a physical DNA, and that makes you 150% connected to your family, genetically, physically, but you also have a spiritual DNA. That is your UCI, unique celestial identity, and that makes your closest family member a total foreigner, a total different person than you are. Unless you understand the incredible values involving the reason why you should become more cosmic conscious. You just, as I say, playing Russian roulette with those cosmic negative winds, shocking winds, and of course, with my negative cosmic windows, all manipulated by those entities. That's where we're at, my friend. This is where we're at. So, you know, as I said, I told you on the radio, many radio shows, to be ready for July 17th, 3 days from now. We're already into that window, and already we are very, very unusual earthquake activity. I mean, a 7.3 and a 6.6 do not happen every day. And a few weeks ago, when all those guys were talking in Los Angeles, they never told you, oh, around the 17, you're going to have a 7.3 or 6.6. What about the tornado? What about the explosion and the volcanic eruption that I'm expecting? My gosh. All right, just, read my work, listen to that YouTube video, and please, for God's sake, be part of the solution. Click that you like my work, say a few words. I don't bite, and that might answer you and make you feel really, really good. Tell you things that Draco tells me that will get your mind blown away, okay? And then just join past your skepticism, ambiguousness, whatever negative feeling the reptilians are imposing to go against me and my work. Cast it aside. Aim for the draconis, and you'll be amazed how your life will change. Again, be part of the solution, okay? Click you like, talk to me a little bit, and join this YouTube video. And most of all, share my warning, because we're just at this beginning of this incredible, shocking, explosive windows. And the next few days from now, we'll prove to you Dr. Turi UFO cosmic predictive legacy is very real. Until then, my good friend, make it a beautiful Sunday. Bye-bye.